Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends over at yarnspirations.com. Today is the Faux Mongolian lamb crochet pillow. I'm going to be demonstrating how to do the stitch. I'm just going to talk my way through how to do a panel, but really the concentration here is the stitch and the loop stitch. Particularly how you execute it is so important so that these fringing pieces or loops do not fall out. So without further ado, let's just quickly review this pattern and then jump right onto the stitch. So the front part and the back part are completely different. So the front part is a one-piece unit just like you see, and the back piece is two pieces just like you see. The two pieces, one is over top of the other, so you can insert your pillow in through this gapping space here and then just pull it back over top. So that's kind of neat. So it's really kind of one side has all the work and the other side is kind of just a lot easier. You're going to notice the one panel has a ribbing stitch, which you can see within the written instructions as you're going along the back here. So what my focus is today is to be able to make the front piece, and you'll notice that the back piece here when you go to do that is actually the same piece itself. So there's actually two of the identical, the one is just inside the other. So when you go to attach these on the to the front, you want to make sure that you can single crochet them. I'm thinking it's single crochet, join, overlap, blah blah blah, insert right chain one and going through single crochet. So it is a single crochet join, so you're gonna want to lay those over top and then insert your pillow, or just put your pillow in first and then use that as a guide. Up to you on how you want to execute this. So the front piece of the pillow is a chaining of 55. When we go to start, it's essentially single crochet on the front side, but when we go to do the loop stitch, which is on the wrong side, the back side, the loops automatically fall to the good side of the work. So every other row has the loop stitch. It's really quite easy to maintain the count in order to do it. So if you want the loops to be left in, you just simply don't cut it, and if you want it like this picture, you will cut the loops at the top and then just let the plies untangle itself, and then you end up with this beautiful pillow just like you have. So let me demonstrate on how to do this here. So the instructions are here if you'd like to do this exact pillow, and I'm gonna demonstrate how to do this particular stitch because that's really the fun part of this whole thing. So here's my practice sample. It's my very first time doing the loop stitch just like you see. I contacted the designer Erin, and she was telling me, I asked her, you know, what is causing these to actually stay in place instead of just pulling out, because I was wondering if you can pull these out permanently. And apparently the way that we're about to do it creates a mini knot into the project itself with each one of these, so therefore you can safely cut it at the tip. So if you like the looping effect, just don't cut it, and if you liked exactly with the photo, you'll just pull it up and then just cut halfway and just let the plies maybe give it a good shake, and then just, it says to use like a tapestry needle or anything like that, and you're just gonna run your needle through the plies and then just force them open. So it takes a little bit of work in order to get it to the final look, but I think it's kind of worth it too because of the way it looks. It's something like this that I would actually buy at a home fashion store. So you'll see that every other row is single crochet, so if you just peel back, you can kind of see what's going on there. So as mentioned, this is Red Heart Hygge yarn, and you can see it's got a bit of fluff to it. It's really quite fabulous. The plies don't really stick together that well, so that will give you the final look that you'll see in the pillow. I noticed with the value yarns, if you're doing a concept like this, it's harder to separate those plies. These are not so hard, which gives you the look a lot faster. So let's grab our crochet hook, and if you're doing the front face pillow, you're just gonna chain 55, but in my case I'm just gonna do a small sample with you here on camera, and I'm gonna chain about 17. So let's do that. So just chain, so 1 2 3 4 and 5, and then go all the way to the number that you would like to do. So you'll do this also with the back face as well. So for just chaining, just see the instructions for that. So I've just chained 17. If you are doing the back piece, you will start off with the ribbing first, and then you'll just go across until it's about 20 inches, and then you'll just turn it sideways and then just start single crocheting along the side of the ribbing in order to continue it back and forth. So you are just going to single crochet. So second chain from the hook, it just single crochet into each back hump of the chain or back loop of the chain, and that will give you a nice finishing so that when you go to single crochet the panels together, it'll look really nice. So single crochet yourself across the chain, and this is the good side of the work, the right side, and let's continue once we're at the other side. Now once you're all the way across, we're going to start doing the loop stitch. So if you just want to learn the loop stitch, this is where you're gonna do it. So the loop stitch is every other row, and we're gonna start off. So we're now looking at the wrong side of the project, the back side. How we're going to do this is exactly the way you need to do it in order to keep those locked. So if you decide to change the format in any way of how it's done, the loops may fall out on you. So that's a disclaimer for you. So we're gonna start off, and we're gonna still single crochet, but we're gonna create the loop stitch. So chain 1, and you're going to insert your hook into the very first stitch. So going in. Now what is the hard part here is usually we just yarn over and pull through. In this case I want to go between my index finger in the space here and grab the yarn and pull through, and I don't want to release this loop off the hook, and I need to jam my hook in between my 2 fingers and pull the yarn through the next 2 loops, and that's it. And now it's locked. So now I'm gonna take out my finger. So let's go to the next one. So in, we'll do several examples. So in, go between the 2 fingers and pull, leaving my finger in place, and then jam the hook in between my fingers to grab the new part of the yarn and pull through those 2. So your finger is the regulation of how big these loops will be, and once it's done, pull it out. So in, between the fingers, pull, and then now jam between the fingers again and pull. This has taken me a bit of practice in order to do it so smoothly on camera, so just make sure that when you're starting, don't give up right away. Practice makes it better. So going in, between, leave your finger in place, and then going in between. Now originally when I was starting to do this, I wasn't following the diagram so carefully that I was taking out my finger too early, and therefore it kind of makes everything really sloppy. So leave your finger right into the end. So going in, between, and then between and pull. Okay, so I'm gonna just quieten it up as I go across so you can watch. Now I'm coming up to the end. I found with myself the less I'm able to hold the project, the bigger the loops become. So at the end you may have larger loops on the one side. You can safely trim those down once you get your pillow face done, and you can see it. So if that's upsetting you at this moment, don't worry about it. You can always fix that later. So once you've got all the way to the end, you're just gonna turn your work and you'll see all the loops that are on this side. Now you can just go through there and just give it a tug if you want to. It's completely up to you. There is a knot that's been formed, but by tugging it you will tighten up the knot. So this is the good side of the project, the right side. So just chain up 1, and then you're just gonna single your crochet yourself all the way back across. So the loop stitch is only done when you're on the wrong side of the work, and it forces the loops to go to the front side. So every other row you pretty much get a holiday. So if you were doing the back panel, the back panel is just simply single crochets after you did the ribbing section right in the very beginning. So simply nice and easy. This yarn is really quite soft to use, and it's really fabulous in the hands. So we're going to then turn your work and you start the loop stitch again. So chaining 1, going in, and then you just continue with what you already know. And in time you will get faster, I'm sure of it. It's just I'm like an hour into my first time ever doing this, so I think in time if I did a whole pillow face I would get faster and faster at this concept. You know, speed is not everything. The journey is part of the fabulousness with crochet, but in time you'll get more comfortable, and then you may have trouble switching back to regular crochet after you do a whole pillow like this. So this is the loop stitch. This is what is showing on the pattern, and then you can just follow the pattern itself. It's linked in the more information of this video if you want it, and then just follow the dimensions, but really the key element is the loop stitch that is demonstrated within this particular pattern. So without further ado, that's it for today. Have a great day, and we hope to see you again real soon right here on the Crochet Crowd, as well as my friends over at yarnspirations.com.